NYC, United Nations General Assembly invasion. I'm kidding. And SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, the United States of America, finishes their roundtable this upcoming Thursday, the 25th of September. So for those that are watching the General Assembly this morning, President Trump didn't specifically himself mention cryptocurrency or artificial intelligence. However, President Lula, who was speaking before him and was shown by all the major news networks in the United States at the time, spoke a lot about artificial intelligence and its role in the global community in the next few months, in the next few years. And from what I could gather, just different perspectives of himself and a lot of the people at the United Nations and how they should try to regulate it and how it can affect a lot of people's lives. However, before that, President Trump did drop news from the White House account stating that they are working on getting the Clarity Act passed by the U.S. Senate and on his desk by the end of the year. I personally believe that's October. That being said, we're starting to see a lot of rumblings. Like the SEC, they sent me an email today. I can't speak too much on my relationship with them and what I'm attempting to do, but they gave us an email saying that we can state policy proposals. So what's happening is that this Thursday, they had such a high recommendation for companies wanting to be sitting down at the round tables in New York City that they could only accept like the major corporations, the ones that I guess are pivoting towards crypto, like the ones that are existing, maybe like the Googles and such that have offices there. Also like the MoonPays that just recently moved there. And I get more startup focused organizations like the one that I'm representing, the one I'm wearing the hat for, of U.S. investor and government relations. We're allowed to send recommendations over and request virtual meetings, which is really good. What I'm seeing this week is that it's almost like a second crypto week, right? It's not a coincidence that you had Paul Atkins go this morning and basically say they're doing everything they can to work with the CFTC. And they're encouraging companies, listen, we are here. We want banks to go forward, right? The retirement funds, they're letting a ton of the retirement funds. You guys, we already gave you permission. Banks, we gave you permission. We don't need to give you more permission. And the U.S. Congress, especially the House of Representatives, they keep writing these letters. Like it seems like almost every day, like the one they wrote yesterday. They're saying, listen, we need you to be more we need more clarity, right? So the CFTC, SEC are doing everything in their power this week to make sure that everybody understands that they can move forward. I think another bank, JP Morgan Chase, just mentioned, because Chase is already allowing their retail investors at Chase banks starting first quarter next year. No, it was Morgan Stanley. JP Morgan Chase made the announcement in July. Now it's Morgan Stanley made the announcement today that they're going to allow their investors and their customers be able to buy crypto with just a tap of a button. And the recommendation of obviously fiduciaries as well that they work with. So the United Nations behind closed doors, don't get it twisted. They're having these conversations. Why? Because China, yesterday, I think I said in the video yesterday, but yesterday, they made it very clear that they want Hong Kong to stop putting RWAs, real world assets, on the blockchain, or stop the business of doing so. I'm not sure what they're trying to do because they're trying to become like a global gold power as the US is doing the cryptocurrency pivot. But one thing that I really found interesting is that silver today reached its highest level since May 2011. I do a lot of this stuff in my head. So gold and silver are going parabolic. They're going completely crazy. And wouldn't you want to take advantage of this? At least if you're in the US side, I guess more so than China, take advantage of this and tell companies like Sui, who's already said they want to do it, XRP has infrastructure to do it. So then listen, just put it on your blockchain, tokenize it. So people don't actually have to hold the asset. Like it's pegged, right? Like a US dollar pegged stable token, but pegged to the gold standard, gold or silver. I'm not sure how China works, but my understanding is that you can't really own a lot of assets outright. So somebody has to hold it on your behalf, so tokenization would be actually really smart if they do allow that kind of ownership. Anyway, the SEC is going for it. The CFTC, whoever, I think Mrs. Pham runs the CFTC, she's just leaving soon. President Trump is looking for a person that's very, very pro crypto to head that organization. They're going to have the SEC and the CFTC Securities and Exchange Commission, Commodities Futures Trading Commission, both run by pro-crypto people. We already have Paul Atkins at the SEC, at the helm of the SEC, who's very pro-crypto. Soon you're going to have that with the CFTC. And that's what I gathered from this week, is that we're going all aboard the AI and crypto train heading into October for the rest of the year. With that being said, upwards and onwards.